I have a very special guest in the studio with me. I'm going to introduce you now to Laura Curtis. Laura is in the studio and she does lots of things for the Chaos Group. So we are excited to find out exactly what she gets up to and what's coming up for Chaos in general. So, hello, Laura.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is exciting. Have you been... You must have been in the studio before, surely.
So I have, but a long time ago. And I was kind of brought into the team when we did the lockdown. So when it kind of,
Right.
I was frantically, I normally have children popping in inappropriate moments, shouting inappropriate things and wanting biscuits. So this is nice. It's nice to be on my own in an amazing studio.
Flying solo, hey? So for our viewers at home,
Yeah.
can you give us an introduction about you? So what's your role within Chaos?
Within Chaos. Okay, cool. So I started at Chaos. I've probably been here nearly 15 years, I think.
Wow.
So I started with Stay at Home as a support worker and then worked for Stay Positive and managed Stay Positive. And at the time, that was the support side of the care business. So lots of mental health, learning disability, support of people in the community. And then I went off and had a baby. And when I came back and Babs said she'd, acquired this building in Truro that we're in at the moment and that we wanted to set up a CIC to reach more people because we're very much with the care company, you have to meet a certain threshold. So we created Chaos.
Wow.
So I've been part of Chaos from the beginning. And I think I've embraced the chaos more and more. I think I used to be a very structured person, but embraced the chaos and here I am. And now, I do all sorts of projects.
Love that. I love how when we speak to anybody who's involved in Chaos, it always kind of starts with the conversation of, well, Babs said that Babs contacted me. I think we've all got a Babs story
100%.
along the lines.
Yeah, she's amazing, isn't she? But you all get collared by the Babs at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think of, obviously Chaos has developed a lot since the time it began.
Yeah.
What do you see sort of how it is now? Like, can you see such a massive change of how it's moved forward?
I think it's changed and it hasn't changed. I think it's an interesting one in that I think the core values have always been the same thing, and that's basically just making other human beings matter in a really human approach. And that's, is in Babs and Katie's core. They're just all about the people and embracing that. And I think everybody that's in Chaos has those core values. And I think that's the strength in the company, is we've got that core ethos really well established. But what has happened to Chaos is amazing. Like when I first joined, they were over at Philly in a converted barn, a really small office. And now, now we've got the farm, we've got the salon, we've got this amazing building, we've had cafes, now we're doing a tremendous amount of food boxes, you guys and all this wizardry that you use in the studio. And I had so much fun at the Chaos event. Was it week before last now, wasn't it? Fortnight ago?
It was, yeah. It feels like it. Sometimes it feels like it was only yesterday, and then other times it's like, oh, that was actually a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So tell me about your involvement. Obviously, we had our Green Care conference up at the farm.
Yeah.
You were going around with plates and whatnot, and I'm sure you were obviously doing a lot more than just that. But tell us about how you got involved with the conference.
So I was involved just to be involved because I think that's another big part of Chaos, isn't it? Is everybody pitches in and helps. So me and Katie were making sandwiches and lunches and I was helping Babs and grabbing cake from the old garage. And it was a really cool week. And I was also there with my What I Do hat on. And that is a little bit so I'm almost like the link to the community. So do lots about working with communities front facing, meeting people. We do a thing called co-production, which is really about just going out, meeting people where they live in their environments, understanding their reality, gathering their voice about what that's like for them, their experiences of life, their experiences of services, their experiences of the system, as we call it, and then feeding that back and also working with other professionals, stakeholders, funders, commissioners to try and help that voice from the people influence what our services look like moving forwards.
Amazing. So it does sound like the conference was the perfect place for you to be as well at then, because if you're that link between the communities as such, the conference, we had so many amazing speakers and people there for you to almost network with and connect as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is it, isn't it? Like, I think we haven't been face to face for quite a long time, and I've definitely realised that meeting of other people face to face is so, well, it's invaluable, isn't it? That's when ideas spark. Like, I had a meeting with Toby from your team
Yeah.
this morning, and like, I got excited because we were talking, and then like ideas started going off in my head. So yeah, I definitely need human interaction to get those ideas going. And yeah, there's so much cool stuff going on,
Yeah.
and that's what's awesome about you guys, isn't it? As well as celebrating everything that's out there and what people are doing and giving them a platform.
Absolutely. I've definitely found that from a personal point of view since working here. It's that focus on community and bringing people together to actually action some change and to, talking about the food side of things. It's being positively active of doing something about it.
Yeah, I think that doing is a big part of chaos
Yeah.
as well, isn't it? As I think we are all doers,
Yeah.
and we've got some brave people in there as well that are happy to do, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
It is. Well, we're going to have a short song now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to delve even deeper into your role and some of your upcoming projects and everything. So, yeah, a short song now. We have got Heart Stepper by John Gibbons, and we will be back with you in a minute. Hello. Welcome back to Chaos TV. You're here with Ross, and I'm still joined with Laura Curtis from the Chaos Group. Hello.
Hi.
So we just enjoyed a short little music break, but we've been getting to know a bit about Laura's role within Chaos this morning, which is really interesting because Laura's one of those people that you see buzzing around the building and we see you at events and things, but to actually get you in the studio and to sort of knuckle down and chat about your role and everything that you do is really interesting. I think a lot of our viewers will enjoy that as well. So talking about your role, I would like to know what is like an average day in the life of your job,
Of Alora.
of a Laura.
So I mainly work from home or community locations or in meetings.
Right.
So it's really varied. I don't know if there is a general day of Laura, which I love. It's always different. So so it could be emails, report writing. It could be training. I do quite a lot of training. So I
Right.
do the in-house trauma-informed training, which is more about our awareness as in our professional capacity of trauma-informed.
Right.
6 hats. I don't know if have you done the 6 hats
I
training yet?
haven't.
Oh, well, we'll have to get you on that. So that is
Uh-oh.
really cool. So it's a guy called Edward de Bono, and he has 6 thinking hats, and it's about parallel thinking rather than the confusion that can come with thinking.
Okay.
It's really interesting, and we do lots of our reports and stuff based on a 6 hat model. So yeah, I do that training, and I do another part of my job which I like. So I've recently trained as a health and well-being trainer coach.
Okay.
So it was with the NHS, and I applied, and I didn't realise there was like a selection process, but I think there's now 10 of us who are trained trainers, and it's with TPC, so a guy called Andrew McDowell, who's an Aussie, but very nice, and he lives in London, so he came down and trained us and with his team, and it's for the NHS, and they are basically training up the whole of primary care to have coaching techniques and conversations with people, and that's free 2 days training. So if you're primary
Fantastic.
care and you'd like it, then message into Chaos and I can hook you up with Debs.
Yeah.
And then the co-production, which I've already touched on. And another part is young people. So I do quite a lot of work with young people projects. I support our social prescribers and also set up new projects.
Amazing. So is it safe to say that your job is very varied? So sometimes maybe if you come to work, you don't really know what your day's going to throw at you, but
Yeah.
is that a good thing? Do you like that?
Yeah, I do like that. And I think I'm okay with that because I do need a little bit of structure as a person. I need a little bit of grounding.
Right.
But I think I like, because it's all basically, it's just helping people and supporting people.
Yeah.
And that core thing is in every aspect that I do. It's just delivered in a different way. And I like that. I like the puzzle of people. I like that detectiveness and
Yeah.
working out what I'm doing and building that rapport and relationships with people. So yeah, I find it really interesting.
And obviously now that a lot of our events and everything is back face to face, does that make a huge difference to your role? Because I imagine during the pandemic it must have been more difficult, considering you said you are that link between the community and a lot of people weren't out and about.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think I'd say a massive part of my role is building up trust and rapport with people so they feel comfortable to talk to you. So it's that engaging. And like we went out at Christmas, we spoke to the traveller community. They wanted turkeys. So Babs was like, I've got some turkeys, like Babs would. So me and Kate were laden down with turkeys.
Amazing.
And then they came and got their turkey and had a chat with us. We've taken biscuits. We take cake nearly everywhere we go.
Can I follow you around? That sounds amazing.
Follow us around, yes. And it's just about getting involved.
Yeah.
Getting involved and, having fun. I think that's a big thing. Having fun and energy that somebody can connect to.
Yeah.
And go, actually. And also just lots of people are distrusting and lots of people get asked for their voice and they don't hear back. So actually there's a big part of just going, I'm just a Laura. I get things wrong. I'm okay at some things. I'm terrible at other things. That's all okay. I can learn from it all. And actually, let's just have a chat.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing. It's about being relatable and approachable. Someone is a lot more likely to open up and speak to you or ask you for help if you are approachable and you're clearly passionate about what you do. So that obviously helps.
Yeah. I work with the other thing I do. I've probably forgotten a few bits, but Who Dares Works project down in West Cornwall. So Mel is front facing in the community clubs now, but I did that for many years, and those groups were amazing. There's times I went to work and I was like, guys, what are we doing? Like, what decisions have we made? And those groups of people are amazing. They're always like, no, we've got this. We've got this. It's going to be great. We're like, cool.
So moving on to talk about some of the specific projects and things that you have coming up.
Yeah.
Tell me what's in the pipeline.
Cool. So we got a really exciting one based in Truro. So we had a member of the community of Truro come to us through Damien Richards, who is the community development officer for the council, and basically say, look, there's loads of youths in Truro. Some aren't making the most positive choices. Actually, I want to help them. I can connect with them. I know I get to the people, but I need some support with what to do with them. And we were like, awesome. Really like this guy. Wanted to invest in him as much as young people. So started working with him. And then Sonia is our young person social prescriber. So she sits in the community, Richard Lander and Penair, working with young people about emotional wellbeing support, really, and some community linking up. And she worked on this project with Richie from Newquay Boxing Academy, and we've got a 12-week boxing program running on a Monday night in Pydar Pop-Up, which is also an awesome building if you want to rent a building for activities and stuff. There are great people down there. Monday was our first session. So these are people that probably would take a little bit to build up trust with. Like, it would have taken me and Sonia a long time to get people to attend to see us. Like, if we were like, come and meet Laura and Sonia, I think they would have been like, nah. I went down there on Monday and the place was heaving. There was little tiny cute people in boxing gloves running up and down doing squats and on the pads. Their parents stayed to watch, which was an amazing thing to see. They were like, wow, look at my kids. Like, they're behaving, they're listening, they're having fun. And then the second session was for the teenagers, the older ones. And I joined in like an idiot that I am. And
as you should.
Yeah, didn't look very cool. They made it look very cool. I definitely didn't look very cool. And they were very fast at jogging. I was running and they were jogging. I was like, boys. But no, great fun. We had, So that's a cool project. So that's about really working with them, getting them to know us, building up that trust. And then we'd like that project to kind of be a bit more. Kind of that co-pro bit will slide in subtly. It will be like, right, guys, do you want a group to carry on? How are we going to fund it? What should it look like? Who do we need to get involved? And ideally, hopefully get some businesses maybe investing in individuals. Like, we know recruitments are really difficult at the moment. So actually, we could invest in young people maybe further down the line.
That's the thing, you can't you? Like, there's nothing, it's almost not talked about, but businesses and people, we talk about sponsorships as a general term, but why not get involved and sponsor a young person to fulfill some targets?
100%. And we sponsor sports teams, which are awesome, but actually I think sometimes looking at a community and saying, actually, I would put in a bit of money to sponsor these young people to have a positive influence, a bit of mentoring if you wanted to, a bit of a kind hand placement, bit of a guidance, and also a bit of funding. So they get to be, they get to reach the potential that they have.
Yeah. So you mentioned obviously the boxing Monday nights. What's the feedback been so far?
Well, the attendance, I think, was cool. There was a lot of people there, way more than I would have ever been able to get there. The guy calls Matt. So without Matt's help, we wouldn't have got that many people there. They all seem buzzing. I guess next Monday's a test, isn't it? If I'm in a gym on my own, I'll be like, oh, but I really don't think I will be. I've got a lot of faith that they will come back, because I think, and they've been asking for it. I think that's the key. This is something that they've been asking for. They've been saying there's nothing to do in Truro that they want to do and all this stuff. So they've been actively involved in the process already. They might not have known it, but they were. So it's just pulling them in even more now and giving them a bit more responsibility into, if you want something to carry on, let's make it happen together.
Fantastic. And obviously, aside from the boxing, that's your most sort of obviously recent exciting one. Are there any other sort of young people projects?
Yeah, so we got Duchy Health Charity, which is an awesome charity, and the trustees are amazing, and they work with Sonia again, so they help fund Sonia to be in the schools as a social prescribing link worker, and then we also do work, so we have just been working with Nine Maidens School in Redruth with some key young people, and they did amazing. So they basically did a load of artwork, and we held an art expedition in Heartlands, who very kindly donated the space to us, and we took the trustees down there and they walked them through this art expedition and spoke about their project idea, and that was really important, because those young people weren't going to write a written application for funding. It's just not something that would show off their skill set in the best. But to celebrate that young person, to ask them to write a written application wasn't the way to do it. But they love art, they like talking, very nervous, but overcame that really quickly, and they boshed it. So they got awarded £8,000, and they wanted to use it to create a wellbeing space in their school. So it's a space where they can go, regulate their emotional response, chill out, get some trauma-informed support, working with the school teams, group work, cooking, and also like well facilities, somewhere like you can get some deodorant, have a wash if you want to before school. And I think the school have very kindly match fund some of that money, so we had a little bit extra. So I think I saw an email ping into my inbox, which I might not reply to yet, Sonia, so I apologise if you're listening, about little pocket ones also going into the primary school.
Okay.
So that's an exciting project.
That is.
And then another one with Duchy Health Charity is Sonia's working with a group in Liscard, and this is cool. So they've got a like a music which created in over the lockdown, and they're looking to get a trailer so they can take it into communities.
Amazing. So there's definitely options, and that's the most important thing. And so just on a final note, if anybody's watching today and they're thinking, I could do with a little bit of support, or I don't really know where to go, where to start, what would you suggest, obviously, other than contacting us and getting in contact with you? What would you suggest?
I reckon if you can, reach out to somebody and speak to somebody would be one option. If you can't do that, I think it's about like the 5 ways to wellbeing. So get out and about. For me, I have to get a bit grounded. I like to go out. I need to feel some weather on me.
Yeah.
That makes get a bit tired if you can.
Right.
And just maybe set a little tiny goal. They start very small, so even if it's make your bed.
Yeah. That's brilliant. And so many fantastic projects, and just everything you're doing sounds amazing, supporting people within the community. So yeah, I take my hat off. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for joining us today. And hopefully, we'll definitely get you back on at some point and find out a bit more about how the projects are going. And
yeah, I'll bring some young people back with me maybe next time. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, there we have it. That was Laura Curtis from the Chaos Group.